Okay, sorry about that. We're going to finish the coding right now. So when the last video left off, we were just pulling over the View Activity Challenges button. And what this guy is going to do is he's going to take you to a second screen that has our challenges on it. So in order for us to get this block that says open another screen, we have to have this another screen added in. So we're going to have to go back to the designer real quick and add in a new screen, and we're going to call it Challenge Activity Screen. Okay, so I'm going to switch back over, and you'll notice right up here, oh, looks like we can do it straight from blocks. I thought we had to be in designer. But we're going to do Add Screen, and we will call this Activity Challenge Screen. And I don't believe that you can have any spaces on this. So then we'll hit OK. And now you'll notice up here along the green arrow, or the green menu bar, we now have Activity Challenge Screen showing up here. And this will switch us back to screen 1. Okay, so that's how you go between screens as you are designing and coding. Okay. All right, so now when we switch back to our screen 1 and we go to blocks, now we should be able to see, it's probably under screen. I haven't actually used this button before, so I'm trying to find it as we work.
Teachers, if you're wanting to do a coffee run, either contact Lisa Van Houten's desk right away, 5383, or meet down at the sandbox. We'll be leaving in about 3 minutes.
Okay, sorry about that. We're going to grab this open another screen and then screen name. That's going to fit in here. And then we got to tell it what screen to get. I've already forgotten what we named it. Activity Challenge Screen. Oops. Oh, I didn't know it would do that. No. Oh, I thought that might just pull it up, but no, it doesn't. All right, so Activity Challenge Screen. All right. So we've got that coded in now. Now we will switch back down. Here's where we left off, if I can get there. Okay, so now this is kind of showing you on the designer part of things, how things will look as you code for your challenge activity screen, okay? So you're going to have, and yours doesn't have to look exactly like this. You can do it the way you want to. It just needs to be kind of a professional, nice looking thing. So you'll notice that there's the way they arranged it, they put a vertical arrangement and then a horizontal arrangement with a back button that says click here to return to the home screen. And then there's a horizontal arrangement that includes the first activity, a button for the first activity, and a label for the first activity. So that's jumping jacks. Those are right next to each other. Then there's another horizontal arrangement with the second activity button and the second activity label. That's push-ups in this example. Okay, so remember these are your own individual things. Mine are yoga poses, yours might be something different. So you're going to have a horizontal arrangement with a button for the activity and a label for the activity. You'll see that all the way down. Okay, so I would go ahead at this point and just pause it and go on over to the challenge activity screen. You'll want to put these items in. I'm going to switch over to mine. I'm just going to put 3 in, and if you have more than that, that's fine. And again, if you want to change the way this looks a little bit, that's okay with me too. Okay. I'm just kind of remembering how this goes. Okay. So we switch back. Right now I'm going to the activity challenge screen, so I switch. And I'm going to designer. On this screen, we had it with a vertical arrangement. And we had, I think right away we had a horizontal one inside of that, but I got to switch back and look. Okay, so we have a vertical with a horizontal and the back button. Got it. Horizontal in here. Then we need a button. Okay, this button, you're going to come down here, rename it, and it's going to be the back button. And remember that you've got to come over here to properties and make it the way you want it to look. So I'm going to come down here, and instead of text for button 1, I'm going to say click here to go to home screen, or whatever message you want to do that makes sense. Okay, click here to go to home screen. Now this also, you may want to play with your horizontal arrangements a little bit. You may want to change the width to fill parent. Again, until we deploy to our tablets, we're not quite sure how this is going to look. So, and that actually didn't do it, did it? Oh, probably because our vertical arrangement was not on fill parent. Let's see if that works. There we go. So that did it. All right, and we can kind of work with this as we go. I am going to make this centered. Line horizontal center. Oh, oops, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry, I meant to be here on the horizontal. I'm going to center that so that button is in the middle. And while we're on it, I'm going to come back here and make that font bold because that's how all of our other buttons are, and it kind of makes sense for them to be consistent. So again, we're going to come over here. We're going to pick a layout, horizontal arrangement, and we are going to have a button and a label for each activity. Button, label. Okay, and so I'm going to do that for 3 things real quick, and then I'm going to rename them all. Horizontal arrangement, button, label. Horizontal arrangement, button, and label. Okay, now you've got to do some renaming. Don't forget this part, it's important. So this button, okay, is going to be the name of your activity. So on theirs, they have Jumping Jacks button, Jumping Jacks label. Okay, yours should make sense with what you're doing. And mine, got to remember what I put for mine. Plank was my first one. So I'm going to do plank pose button. My label will be plank pose label. My next one I'm going to rename. This is, I think I did the star pose. Hopefully that's right. Star pose button, star pose label. You get the idea. And my third one was chair. So rename to chair pose button, chair pose label. Oops. And remember, while you're doing this, you have to come through and take care of the properties. So all of your labels, you are going to take the text out. Okay. And on your buttons, you're going to put text on them that makes sense. This is my chair pose, so I'm going to put chair pose. I'm going to make my font bold. And then I'm going to keep doing that for the rest of these elements. Star pose label, take out the text, star pose button. I'm going to come over here and put star pose, make it bold. And you can really do some fun things with this. You can use an image for your buttons. So that would actually be a good one for mine. I could show a picture of people doing the poses. So feel free to get creative in that respect. You're welcome to do that. And plank pose label, take out the text, plank pose button, blank pose, and bold. Okay, so you'll notice here, same thing like we were dealing with before, that this is not going all the way across. So this may be something that you want to fill parent. Again, once you deploy to your tablet, you'll be able to tell how you might need to change this a little bit to make it look nicer. Okay, so I'm just going to do those 3. You may have more than 3, but you go ahead and do it for yours. And the next thing that we will need to do is to actually code this screen. So the back button, we're going to code it, and it's just going to open another screen, and the screen name will be screen 1 because we didn't change that to home screen or anything like that. So that one's pretty easy. Let's switch back. Go to blocks. Over here, you're going to go to your back button. When the back button is clicked, where do we end up finding that? Was that under screen 1? I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank. Where did we find that? Is it under control? Yes. Open another screen. There we go. Open another screen, and the screen name is text. Pull it over. You can tell what this screen is named by using the down arrow. It's screen 1, capital S, no space before the 1. It's got to be exact or it won't work. It's very picky. Okay, so there's our back button. Now we're going to code our activities. And this is where you had a little bit of freedom on how you wanted to do it in the instructions. In your design brief, it tells you here, this is the section we're working on. For each activity challenge listed, the user can select that activity challenge to view one of the following: a picture and written procedure for completing the challenge, a picture and audio file describing how to complete the challenge, or a video showing how to complete the challenge. Okay, so you decide what you're doing for your individual challenge screen, but you have to choose one of these 3. The example that we are going to look at is this first one, a picture and written procedure for completing the challenge. If you decide to do a video, I will just caution you that the video has to be 5 seconds or less for it to work in App Inventor. Okay. All right, so I'm going to switch back here and kind of show you how they did it. When the Jumping Jacks button is clicked, they're going to set Jumping Jacks button image to a picture of Jumping Jacks. Okay. Then the label for Jumping Jacks will now show the written procedure for doing the challenge. Okay. And they did this in numerical form. In first, you do this: stand with your feet together and your hands down by your side. 2, and so on. Okay. So depending on what you're going to do, either image and audio, or image and, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Image or audio. Oh, sorry, image and written, or audio and image, or a video going through. So you decide how you want to do it, and that's how you'll want to code for each and every activity button. Okay, So I have 3. I'm going to do mine for my poses, okay? And this one, I haven't actually gone in and found pictures and stuff yet for mine. So this part, you will have to go and find your own images and just know that this is how you code it together. If you need help with the audio or video, let me know, and I'm happy to help you with that. Again, video has to be 5 seconds or less. Definitely PNGs work for images, and GIF should work too. Those should work too. Or excuse me, JPEG. JPEG should work. Okay, so that is the coding. Once you finish, you're going to deploy to your app and make sure it works. If it doesn't work, then you need to debug and figure out what's wrong with it. Happy to help you with those steps, so feel free to ask.